It's a good world. Good world going bad.
It's starting to become clearer and clearer that recent home buyers across the nation are having overwhelming buyer's regret. And today we're going to look at, and I'm going to remind you guys why they have buyer's regret to begin with. And I want to remind you guys, we can't trust the professionals to find us a deal of our dream. Remember, guys, no one's going to care about our investment like we care about our investment. Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, guys, and you may remember us covering multiple surveys, multiple reports stating that over 90% of recent home buyers have overwhelming regret. Now, the majority of that is because these people rushed. They used their emotions to purchase real estate. This is the biggest financial transaction of people's lives. And unfortunately, here's what happens, guys. You care about having a roof over your head and starting your family. But a lot of other people in America want to profit off of you and that dream. So overall, the real estate market is incredibly toxic. There's a lack of help. There's a lack of transparency. And what I would strongly encourage people to do is, listen to the people that have recently purchased because they are walking out the action, right? They probably jumped the gun, purchased based on emotions, and now they have regret. And I believe looking at those people will help give us additional insights on what's really going on because you have bulls and you have bears. So now let's look at what the actual homeowners, the recent homeowners, and I want to make this point. The housing market, you guys, is incredibly divided. There are people that purchased before 2022 that have probably over $100,000 in equity and a super low interest rate. Now, most people that purchased after 2022 have higher interest rates and very little, if any, equity. And remember this, okay? It costs roughly 8% to sell your house, 6% roughly to realtor commission, plus 2% for other closing costs like taxes and insurance. In other words, what I'm saying, you guys, you gotta treat this transaction like it's deserved to be treated, the biggest financial transaction of your life. So don't cut corners on due diligence. All right? Seriously, don't do that. And as always, if you guys like this video, shoot me a bonkers below. But if you learn something, hit a like below. That's how I'm gonna gauge whether or not you guys are learning, by the likes. But if you enjoy the video content, give me a bonkers. You guys know I love that. Anyways, let me show you the articles. So before I jump into the reasons, let me just remind everyone of the article headlines. Majority of homeowners say they have regrets. Survey. Majority of Americans regret buying a home. 93%. Again, you guys, I say 93% of people regret buying their homes. New survey finds. Here's why. This goes into the same thing. 93% of Americans roughly have buyer's regret. So at this point, we know that like pretty much almost not everyone, Jeff, I'm talking to you, not everyone has buyer's regret. Now, the majority of people that don't have buyer's regret probably can comfortably afford their property or made a constructive decision to move forward using data. But think about that, guys. 93%. How many millions of people is that? I mean, 93%. Now, obviously, understand this is just a survey, but there's many surveys that are coming back with this similar results. But the important thing is I don't want to just be sitting here just screaming and yelling, caution, be careful. Let's go into a report that's going to break down the 6 top reasons almost everyone has buyer's regret. But again, that's recent home buyers. If you purchased before 2022, your only issue is skyrocketing property taxes and skyrocketing homeowners insurance. Because I guarantee if you own before 2022, your mortgage payment skyrocketed, even if you have a fixed rate. All right, so we'll read this, guys. 6 reasons 93% of homeowners have regrets about purchasing a home, and this was in 2023. I can't wait to start getting the 2024 reports. Now, the number one reason here, you guys, my home requires too much maintenance. At one of the most expensive times to purchase real estate in our history from both a price and a payment standpoint. And they still and they still have additional expenses. You guys, that's just the maintenance. That's not talking about property taxes and insurance. Let's read this. According to the survey, a third of recent home buyers, 33%, feel remorse about the upkeep their home needs compared to 25% in 2022. So they're feeling the quantitative tightening and the inflation, the overwhelming unaffordability. Home ownership is typically way more expensive than people anticipate. And they're not anticipating this because they're so stuck in that fear of missing out, they can't compute the future and what that looks like without them having to get the home right away. There's too much maintenance, and buyers often have to compromise too much for their home, having little money left over to do any repairs. And that is a huge thing. People go broke buying homes. Not everyone, but a majority of people use all of their money to move into that house. That's why I'm always telling you guys, at least have the seller pay the closing costs so that you have money left over. All right, number 2 reason, okay? I bought too quickly. Duh. So again, I always remind myself that I've been on the sideline for a little over 2 years, saving my money, investing in T-bills, increasing my purchasing power, and becoming an expert in my local market. So I feel great. I feel good. I'm finding deals. I'm putting in offers. But again, I'm taking my time, and it's hard. I just want to acknowledge patience does suck, right? Patience sucks. I have a family. I have children. I have a wife. I want to move on with my life, and I want to move into a house that I own. Okay. But I'm not going to rush that process. And what I believe is neither should you. We should not rush. Now, if you want to compromise a tad on certain things, fine. But right now, you guys, again, price, payment, completely out of whack. Okay, so I bought too quickly means fear of missing out. Okay. Clever found that 28% of buyers are waiting to enter the current challenging real estate market until rates and prices drop because they're priced out. It's not like some of these people are like making a decision like us to stay on the sideline. Most people are forced, and I want you guys to understand that. We are making a decision. Most people are forced. Don't forget that because of debt to income ratio qualifications. But many waiting for market dynamics to change are getting impatient. Raise your hand, you guys. Comment if you're getting impatient. I'll be the first person to say I am definitely getting impatient. I have to constantly pray and have self-talks and meditate, like chill, it's coming, right? Just stay the course, stay patient, and be strong. Burdened by years of underbuilding, inventory has been stuck at record low levels, which has increased competition and prices while compelling home buyers to close the deal too early. And honestly, we should throw agents on top of that because the agents are just there cheerleading fear of missing out. Number 3, this one's a big one. I spent too much. Like, why is that 100%? I mean, if you buy a house right now, more than likely you're spending too much. But anyways, according to Statista, the average sales price of a new home in 2022, I believe that is, was $391,900. Okay, that must be 2020. They're missing maybe a 0. In 2022, it reached $540,000, while the average house price has dropped in 2023 to $716,000 as of April. That's interesting. That's not nation average. Buying a home can seem like an impossible task. Roughly 38% of home buyers said they paid over the asking price in 2023, including 42% of first-time home buyers, according to Clever. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, if you pay over appraisal value, what you just did is you basically put yourself in a situation to where you have to have massive equity growth just to recoup for what you paid over for what the house is worth. So say, for example, it takes 5 years to get 10% in equity. Well, if you overpaid by 10%, it may take you 15 years to get that type of equity. So very bad idea. This is how negative equity happens. That's why a lot of things are not sustainable. The appraisal gaps, paying over is insane. And the fact that 38% paid over asking price in 2023, in my opinion, is a huge mistake. Honestly, I want no part of that. When I purchase a house, I am not going to be part of a bidding war. I'll tell you that. I will walk away so fast and get back to work and find another house. Guaranteed. Now, number 4, a lot of this is kind of like the same thing, but number 4 is my interest rate was too high. Right? Duh, right? That was 28% of people. A series of interest rate hikes initiated by the Federal Reserve has led to higher housing prices. The bank's interest rate affects the cost of borrowing for many loans, including mortgages, and mortgage rates aren't dropping. As Forbes noted, rates rose to 6.96 by mid-July, and many experts predict they will remain over 6% for the rest of the year. And don't forget, you guys, right now interest rates are well over 7%, even though as the making this video, the 10-year is actually down 9 basis points, but it was up. It's up. It's over 4.5 right now. The 10-year is. Let's move on. Again, you guys, this is, to me, this is all rushing. This is all fear of missing out, because number 5, 26% of people said, I bought a fixer upper. And again, they're going broke. A lot, not all, but many people are going broke moving into their house, so they don't even have money to fix things like the AC, the foundation, the roof. But number 5, I bought a fixer-upper. 26% of respondents said a fixer-upper was their biggest regret. And honestly, I feel like investors are learning the hard way on that as well. Properties that need repairs appeal to first-time home buyers because they usually come at a lower price point. But the time and the money needed to make the repairs aren't always easy to estimate accurately. And what I do with my clients, guys, is we take a general contractor to a property if they want to refurbish it or rehab it or whatever, and we start getting quotes during the option period. In Texas, we have an option period where we can just walk away and get our earnest money back, and generally that's 7 to 9 days. So during that 7 to 9 days, that's when we're doing all of that due diligence on the property's condition. And honestly, everyone should do that if it's a fixer-upper, especially if it's a fixer-upper. But also on top of that, guys, inspections. You always want to get inspections. And I'm talking multiple inspections, even a hydrostatic inspection that checks the sewage lines, the plumbing under the house. All very, very important stuff. Now, number 6, I was persuaded to make an offer, 23%. Okay, so again, this is why I keep saying agents are partially responsible. They are. I mean, it's a fact. Now, whether they did it intentionally or they're evil, that's another thing. I don't think people are evil necessarily, but I definitely think that the majority of agents were 100% partially at fault for this insane housing market we're in. I mean, honestly, guys, we're supposed to trust them. We want to, as Americans, to trust the professionals because they're getting paid crazy amounts of money to be trustworthy, right? Wrong. They're just getting paid crazy amounts of money. The trustworthiness is not there. Number 6, again, with prospective homeowners being priced out of the market like never before, dealing with increased house prices and mortgage rates, plus a volatile market, has forced many to jump before they're ready. And that right there is the next wave of foreclosures. I don't know if it's going to happen in 2025 or 2026, but those are the people the biggest at risk of losing their house and having their financial credit and purchasing power destroyed. Now, buyers typically purchase their homes for 100% of the asking price, with 28% paying more than the asking price, according to NAR. This goes on. Rounding out the regrets buyers had about their home buying experience had more to do with preferences and pressures to buy than prices and rates, because they have it reversed. Okay, so it's preference and pressure. So people are buying based on preference and pressure, not prices and rate. And my friends, that is a huge mistake. So the question is how do you buy a house and not have regret? Well, one thing that I believe, there's still millions of people buying real estate. Okay, so be it. All right, I hope you guys do well. I don't want anything bad to happen to you. But here's the thing. Number 1, I think we should probably wait till after the presidential election. And like I've been saying, after we go into recession, we need to go through those things. We need to have the unemployment phenomena start. And the important thing, guys, is we need to make sure we're pre-qualified right now, because odds are that when we do go into recession, it will be harder to maintain our purchasing power. So if we don't have purchasing power right now, we go into recession, it's possible that we won't have purchasing power even during the recession. Now, the other thing, okay, what can we do about this? Well, it's how you wait that matters, okay? You should, well, I am working on my purchasing power, which is my credit, my income, and my assets. And I went even further. And as a thank you to the community of Real Estate Mindset, I have made a free, very value-packed home buying course, I'm telling you guys, I'm walking away from $200,000 at least by offering this for free. But again, there needs to be someone that offers consumers a way to empower themselves without having to charge them hundreds or thousands of dollars. You guys, that's this channel. So if you want to learn how to buy, how to not have regret, spend 2 to 3 hours and take that home buyer's course. It's in the description, and you will become a better buyer. I mean, seriously, I don't care. I don't care if you're a realtor of 20 years, you're going to learn something in that course. All right. It's for you guys. I hope you're taking advantage of that. Now, other than that, guys, don't forget, if you learned something, hit like. If you enjoyed the video, give me a bonkers below. And if you're out there investing in real estate, you guys already know I wish you luck, and I hope you win.